Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Spanish Night Radio. I'm your host, Enrique Sanchez. This afternoon, we have a very special guest. Can you introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Oh, hello. That's sudden. Okay. My name is Khunsetseg Sharajamts, and I'm from Mongolia, born and raised in Mongolia. So I'm here in LA with my Renewal Mongolian church. So I myself is pastor of the church. So yeah, I ordained 2015. So since that, I'm with my Renewal Mongolian church in LA. So nice to meet you guys.
Nice. Likewise. So, Spanish United would like to know a little bit about your background, the Mongolian community in California, in Los Angeles, and the Mongolian church.
Okay. So, um, most of us know it's not that big community, but we are around LA, including Valley and Orange County. It's around 2,000 to 3,000 people.
Okay.
So total we'll have three Mongolian churches officially, but right now it's two of them, yeah, active, open the
Okay.
door for, yeah, people. So we are one of them.
Okay, so the difference between your church and the other two, are they part of the same denomination or are they a different confessional faith?
Oh, both of them evangelical, I believe, but they have one of them have um another denomination called Living Water.
Hmm.
Yeah, something like that. It's based in Singapore, I guess.
Oh,
But it's
okay, okay.
evangelical too, so yeah.
Okay, nice. So
I have good
explain.
communication with both of other churches, pastors and congregations. So yeah, pretty much we know each other well.
Right, of course, and especially being such a small community, it's easier for people to know each other instead of
Hmm.
a community that's, larger like the Chinese community. So
Uh-huh.
explain a little bit about how you became a pastor. Were you a pastor originally in Mongolia, or did you went to seminary overseas, or how did you come about it?
Okay. That's a long story short. I mean, I got a calling in my back in my country in Mongolia when I was seminary when I'm doing my BA, and that was pastoral ministry. So during that time, I didn't know there is such a woman pastor because
Right.
surrounded us with all Mongolian missionaries who were there during that time. I'm talking about like not 1998, 1999, 2000-ish.
Mm.
So most of them, there were male men's become a pastor. So
Right.
I was confirming like pretty much with God. I was struggling, God, is it really, truly you calling me? But yes, God confirmed me three times. So I was give up to God and I said, I'm not going to ask you again. I got to be a pastor. And
Mm.
then when I finished my BA, I learned about my MDiv. I got my missionary pastor's school, which is Korean Presbyterian Church in America. That's my denomination name. So
Mm.
that school is in Orange County. It's still there.
Mm.
So I finished there my MDiv 2010. So I
Mm.
finished my Master of Theology 2015 in my school. So when I finished my Master of Theology 2015, I ordained from my denomination, which is my denomination is pretty big in U.S. and other uh, countries. So
Mm.
ordained as a pastor. So
Nice.
that's how I become a pastor. But during that time, since 2006, I become as a international student in the seminary. I served one of Mongolian church, which is LA Mongolian church. So I was serving there as a Sundays and a Sunday school teacher or Sunday school pastor or um, youth pastor, young adult pastor.
Mm.
So until I ordained. So after I ordained, a little before I ordained, I planted my small Mongolian church in Orange County because Orange County had a couple of students in colleges here and there, Santa Ana, Cerritos, because I lived in Santa Ana because of my seminary. So, and I started, and later on, I moved to Ley because LA Renewal Mongolian Church needed some Mongolian pastor. So it was originally there were Korean pastor in Renewal Korean Church, so a lot of Mongolian people attending, but they had hardship to communicate with Mongolian people. So that's why the pastor was searching whoever needs to,
Right.
whoever able to take over the Mongolian church. So he got like kind of interview and he asked me to visit and yeah, he was telling me here's a more fish. So why don't you move to LA because Orange County is very few people, few
Right.
population of Mongolians in there. So most of them during that time, when they finish their college, when they finish their schools, they move, they go back to Mongolia or they move to other states. They're
Mm.
always kind of, yeah, always very
Right.
few people in LA. So that's why I made a decision to move to LA. And that was 2024. Yeah. And then since there, I'm still here though.
Nice.
So,
So I have a
um,
question. So how is the Mongolian experience in Los Angeles in relation to Hispanic people? Because like you have mentioned, the Mongolian community is not that big. So it's like
mm,
how is the Mongolian relationship with Hispanic people within within the community in general? Do people that are Hispanic go to
mhm.
visit your church or have you done missionary work with Hispanic people or what?
um, uh, Personally, I've been in Mexico 2008 and 9 with a summer short-term mission with my Korean church, which I was when I was before I ordained. During my student time, I was serving as a children pastor in Sunday school pastor in Korean church. So that Korean
Mm.
church was mission church. So every summer we sent like three van people means around 30 something people always went to Mexico. So I know I've been there just a couple times and I obviously I meet a lot of Latino Mexican people in around LA. So I think we Mongolian and Spanish Latino people have similarity. They enjoy life. They
Yes.
yeah, they know how to have fun. They don't really depressed all the time, even though life is not easy.
Right.
And they go on. They take care of each other. And a lot of people say, there's a lot of um. I'm not gonna, look down other like people in streets, but there's barely you can find any Hispanic people on the street begging, because
Right, of
they always
course.
take care of each other, cousins, friend, whoever, their friends, whatever, stepdaughter, and they always related. How come somehow they always relating each other and they take care of each other and they work hard too. They
Mm.
never give up. So
Right.
that's very similarity and know how to they know how to find a way to live. I don't have to say that. It's kind of similar with Mongolians. Mongolians are nomadic people.
Yes.
So, we don't really relay one thing. When we have a vehicle, car, we can drive, and if it's broken, we can take care, or we can ride a horseback ride, and we can go. If don't have a horse, we can walk, or we can get I don't know, we can find a way. So
Right.
we don't really give up our life to
Right.
that easy. So I think that's a very similarity, yeah. And
Yeah, be
yeah, we enjoy eating. I mean, how to say
yes.
it.
I've
That's
had
a lot of similar things
I've
with
had Mongolian
Mongolian and
barbecue,
Hispanic
and Mongolian
people.
barbecue is one of my
Yeah.
favorite
Uh-huh.
dishes, favorite
Yeah.
cuisines.
They eat a lot of tacos, and it's cool. I like
Yeah.
it too. So when you meet with like Hispanic or Latino people, you're not really stressed up much, I think,
Well, that's
You
good
just
because
laugh more and make a joke each other more. Like it's a little bit different, not too serious.
right,
So
right.
that's really, communicating with us, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Spanish United, my foundation, we are nonprofit. We've been around for 6 years. We have about 5 chapters in different states. And one of the things that we do, we
Mm-hmm.
we encourage a lot of outreach and also to encourage empowerment within the Hispanic community. And one of the things that we also encourage is education. And education, aside from academics, also learning about your surroundings, because especially that we live in a society. When I mean society, I'm talking about purely is,
Mm-hmm.
if we are not living within our homeland, we have to live with other people that are not related to us, racially, culturally,
Mm-hmm.
linguistically. So
Yeah.
it's very important,
That's a good thing
that
we can learn from you guys too. So yeah.
yes, yes. So I always encourage, the people in Spanish United to always learn and see how other communities have been more
Mhm.
successful. So that way we could, adapt and,
Yeah,
we
of
could
course.
we could learn the positive aspects. So I always do a lot
Mhm.
of outreach with different communities, not just Hispanic. Like I've done outreach with the Chinese community, the Korean community, Japanese community. And that's the reason why I
Mhm.
reached out to you, because I know that the Mongolian community is very
Mhm.
small. And
Mhm.
Hispanic people, even though we are large right now because of the current situation with immigration, we kind of feel like we're small as well. So I feel that, when Hispanics and other communities like Mongolians have have more
Mhm.
communication, they could
Mhm.
build some type of not just fellowship, but also like a mutual understanding of one another. Even though we may have our, cultural and linguistic differences, but we're all looking for the same thing. Especially if
Mhm.
one is part of the body of Christ, we are all part of the
Mhm.
the same body.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. One of my oldest um kind of partnership pastor is a Mario pastor from Mexico, but he's going once a month every month he's going like 3 days Mexican mission
Right.
trip. So he's never stopping that since like last 20 years, I think. First we met, he was like that. Still, he's doing same thing. So I can see, and him and his congregation together. So I see it's a similarity with Mongolian, similar too, because we have those kind of attitude. Once we make a decision in our hearts, we gotta do this job or this mission or our lifelong journey, we got to do this. We do that, even though it's hard, even though it's not easy, even though we have a money, no money, it doesn't matter. So I see that a similarity with that pastor, and because I don't really know much different Hispanic churches around me. So when I see him and his congregation, they're never stopping. It's not easy, Sometimes you want to skip. Sometimes, your car tires are popped, or you have no car. Sometimes you're sick. Sometimes
Hmm.
economic is no good. You can, skip sometimes, but that pastor and his church congregation people are very, very, how to say, uh, s- keeping their promise before God. I see that, and I'm so super proud of them. So I don't know other Hispanic churches doing similar or same, but yeah, still those. I don't know any other Korean church doing those kind of efforts to mission. But since Mexico's close by, they always drive
Hmm.
there, and they're always ready to go mission, and they always go help to other Hispanic congregations,
Right.
Hispanic communities and people. So
Right.
I'm super proud of them. Yeah.
That Mongolia, since it's a country that not too many people know about, There's not too many Latin American countries that have embassies in Mongolia, but a country that you might
Mhm.
not think that has an embassy that has relations with Mongolia is actually Cuba. And I've heard that
Mm.
there have been some Mongolian missionaries that have gone to Cuba to set up churches. So I find that amazing
Ooh,
because Cuba is
beautiful
all the way
time.
in the Caribbean and Mongolia is
Mm-hmm.
all the way in Asia, but it's amazing that
Mm-hmm.
they're able to send missionaries back and forth.
Yeah. I know a couple of missionaries in Mongolia. They're running, helping to do, that communist people. I mean, because we were under communism 70 years until 1993 too. So
Yes,
we know the similar culture. So Cuba, China, North Korea, Russia, no,
Vietnam.
Soviet Unions, Vietnam, Laos, those countries, we can understand their mindset and their identity. So we can connect with them.
Right.
So I know some of the missionaries, and some of the missionaries still. I know the Kazakhstan, some of them Afghanistan, even though it's not
They're
familiar with at all with Mongolians, the Islamic countries, but they
hmm.
still trying their best. So I'm proud of them. Yeah.
So I want to ask like how do you see the Mongolian church in Los Angeles in terms of its future? Do you feel that, as time goes by and more Mongolians get integrated, do you feel that the church has a future of expanding, or do you think it might just stay the way that it is, more of a close-knit community?
I hope and I pray it's not only mine, but all of our churches are trying our best to sharing the good news every, holidays, every celebration days, celebrity days, I don't know, whatever in US and Mongolian.
Mhm.
So we're trying our best. Well, of course, we wanted to plant more churches around us. And recently we are praying for San Diego and Las Vegas, Utah, because we just have no churches in there, but Mongolian communities in there. Even
Mhm.
though small, we want to start with cell group. So we are praying. But not only us, there is a North American Mongolian Pastors Association. So
Mhm.
it's all over US. There is 18 different Mongolian churches are active in their community.
Mhm.
So we are one of them. So
Oh,
we
nice.
help each other. We are help each other. That's why we're trying to gather once a year, united conference doing it. So this year, for example, our church Renewal Mongolian Church, we hosted East West Coast Mongolian Christian Conference in Camp Wrightwood in the mountain. So
Mhm.
we just finished um, March 29th for 3 days
Oh, wow,
camping.
impressive.
So it
Impressive.
was like 7 different churches from Seattle, Bay Areas, and LA. So we are 7 different churches, around 165 people gathered together 3 days. So it was amazing. So there was a couple new people and a lot of kids. Yeah, we had 3 days full program and schedules. We had so much fun and we learned a lot of stuff from the
Um,
Bible and through the theme.
yeah, that's
Really
very
fun.
important. That's very important.
And other side and East Coast, they just did their East Coast United Conference was like after Easter. So right after Easter week was April something. So a couple of weeks ago they finished. They did in DC, Washington DC, one of our NAMPA, North American Mongolian Pastor Churches, one of the church hosted. So we take turn East Coast, West Coast is once once a year, 2 years, and third year we unite together, East Coast, West Coast together.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
gonna be probably next year we got a East Coast, West Coast together conference. We gotta gather in Chicago, Illinois, maybe June. We are planning or we are doing deposit, and we are, planning everything already. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's how we trying to, support each other. Unless, we are immigrants. So, and, we are not like second, third, fifth generation immigrants. We are first generation immigrants,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is most of us speak Mongolian. They're still having their Mongolian identity, everything. So we want to keep our children, next generations in US, they want to keep their culture, to keep their, community together as a Christian.
Mhm.
So we're trying our best. So we'll see.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing with Spanish United, because
Mm-hmm.
even though Hispanic people are larger
Mm-hmm.
population, there is an assault against Hispanic people culturally because
Mm-hmm.
they want Hispanic people to assimilate, and there's pressure that if you want to have the American dream or move up the social ladder, you have to assimilate. And there's nothing wrong in assimilating to a certain degree, but from what I've seen, that many Hispanic people after second, third generation, they lose their identity, and many of them don't even identify as Hispanic. And the Hispanic people, we are different racial background. Hispanic is not a race, as an ethnicity. So you have Hispanic people, Latino, that look like white people, look like black people, look like Indian people, etc. So depending on how a Hispanic Latino person is raised and they don't keep in contact with their culture, they might identify with the black people or the white people or whatever. So what we
Mm-hmm.
do is that we try to keep the Latino people being Hispanic. We try to keep them speaking Spanish, and the ones that don't know
That's
Spanish, or
important. Yeah.
yes, because I feel that it gives them a sense of identity. So that's what we try
Mm-hmm.
to do. Like we try to do workshops where we have language
Mm-hmm.
programs, educate them about history. My background is in education,
Mm-hmm.
history.
That's
So
good.
I always want to lead people into knowing where they come from, because when they come from, then they'll have a better understanding of who they are and how they could relate to the world around them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And like I said, I feel that, and again, this is my personal observation, from what I've seen, that communities in general that are smaller, especially ones, that are Christian, uh, they tend to be more warm when it comes to showing the Christian love and being more in serving than, let's say, communities that are more established. Because unfortunately, over time, people get comfortable. But when communities tend to be smaller and they have to rely on a social network, social safety net, they keep that love of God and love of Christ going. So that's
Mm-hmm.
something that I do have to admire about the Mongolian church, that even though they're
Mm-hmm.
very small in population, that
Mm-hmm.
they're doing the work that maybe other communities that have more resources could do, but for some reason they don't do, for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because problem is I mean, if you see the North American and South American or other democratic countries, you know how to say, you see they have generational blessings, and they grow, as a country receive Christ, and majority of the people, population accepting Christ, they believe in God and they grow fast. They being very, strong. How to say, like native people, they fight against corruptions or fight against whatever is wrong in their country, right?
Mm.
But we are in Mongolian Christianity is very young. It's like since 1994 missionaries came like freely in my country, and they can freely sharing gospel for people. But during that time, my parents' generation didn't really accept good news. Why? Because communism teach them religion is the drug,
Right.
learn that way. So if you're under some religion, you gotta dragged out. You can't get out anymore. You gotta be brainwashed and some kind of
Right.
stuff. So missionaries mostly they attached focused on high schoolers, middle school kids. So
Mm.
which is was a high schooler when I first accepted Jesus Christ in my life. So and that generations are growing now, and at my age is my Mongolian first generation Christians. So we are trying to spread the gospel for our older generation and younger generation same time.
Right.
You know?
And one thing about
Uh-huh.
Mongolia is that unlike the former Soviet Union, that when they collapsed, they had chaos for a couple of years, when they were transitioning from communism to democracy or whatever.
Obviously,
Mon
yeah.
Mongolia was relatively peaceful, that they transitioned from communist to democracy without much violence. That's something that you don't really see too much from former communist countries that no longer have communism anymore.
We had so much struggles. We had so much how to say uh that the younger generations always, they see something wrong in the government and states. They always had all kind of struggles and pressures, but from the government as the Christians, they never accepted. They always, they're always asking after democracy comes to Mongolia. Mongolia was empty. All stores was empty. There was only match and salt. Nothing else they can sell. All country was hungry and everybody was so hard, like it was so hard time. But during that time, a lot of missionaries come and they share the gospel and they helped. They opened the door, churches opened the door for poor people, having a hardship, people, and, for orphanage kids and everything. So government knows Christianity is good people. They know they help people. They, open the doors when we have a hardship. When we can't help our people, church can help them, but they always had a pressure, always had you have to say that persecutions, always giving us hard time. For our church, for example, our church was New Life Church in Mongolia. We always moved like place to place,
Mm.
because they never give us registration. They never give us improvement and any facility to use. So we always moved. It was so hard until we get our church building. We
Mhm.
moved almost for like how many years? Like around 13 years. We moved over 15 or 16 times. I remember. Yeah. So it was not good. But right now it's little by little, it's getting better, but still, government thinks, oh, we are a Buddhist country. Why are you bringing a foreign religion in our country? What's your main,
Mhm.
concern? What's your main secret thing to do in my country? You're not giving everything for free. You have something to get back from us.
Yeah, it's
What is
some type
that?
of agenda.
They're always uh, not really accepting as a Christianity. So, but now it's getting little by little better, but still Mongolia needs more churches, still Mongolia needs more missionaries, still diaspora Mongolians need more churches too. So right now, since 1994, right now in Mongolian Christianity, the study said 5% of population is Christian only,
Oh,
only
wow.
5. Yeah, it's not that big number. So we need to spread more
Right.
gospel. We need to help more people. So like I can tell not many Mongolians in here, US. So they most of them following their dream, American dream, and they're following education, good education, quality education.
Mm.
So we want to help them to find God in their, immigration life and they go back their country, help our country to get, stand by steady,
Oh, absolutely. I
Mhm.
feel
Yeah,
that
that's the one
when
of
the
our
yeah,
purpose.
I feel that when the church provides spiritual food, at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, the person will provide the financial food to the church
Mm-hmm.
in gratitude.
Yeah. So, yeah, we are like, as I said, we are first generation Christians. We need more support, sponsor, more support from other, longer generation Christianities. For example, if I share gospel for one person, that person comes to church and that person first time seeing Bible and first time praying to God and first time hearing about Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But if you different like nationalities, different people, for example, Korean people, if you share gospel, they already know what
Right.
God Bible is. They already know how God created the heaven and earth. They already know how to pray.
Mm.
It's not that new for them. But
Right.
Mongolian people, they're like no idea what I'm talking. So
Right.
it's like babies. So we have to nurture, we have to teach them one by one, discipleship from the beginning. And it's immigration life is not easy and it's everybody's busy. So we like trying to even the one by one doesn't matter. But luckily, happily, but God blessed us and this Easter our church got 7 people baptized.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
God, yes. It's like after 2, 3 years of
Wow.
baptism in our church. So I really encouraged through this. Yeah. But
Right.
yeah, so I want to keep doing this more.
Well, like I said, I feel God's going to bless you and lead you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Well, I want to
Amen.
tell you, we are at the end of our time, but I want to tell you,
Mm.
Pastor, thank you so much for being a guest on the show. And
Thank
again, thank you
you.
for the
Thank you for
Bible
having me.
that you gave to me.
Mhm.
And for all of the listeners on Spanish United, we are on Spanish United
Mhm.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Anyone that
Mhm.
wants to reach out to us, we are a nonprofit organization. Anything that one wants to donate will help someone in the community. So as soon as I finish, I
Mhm.
will send you the link and you could share it with all of your colleagues and share it with the church. And again, Pastor, thank you so much for being a guest on the show.
Thank you so much having me. God bless you.
You too. Have yourself a good evening. Bye bye.
You Bye bye.